One snowy Saturday morning, Edward was having a run. The grass was Christmassy, but still can be green. The trees were covered in snow, and he was feeling, but he can sometimes feel cold, but sometimes he will feel much better with some nice and warm fire inside his firebox. I feel so warm, sang Edward. Trickety-trock, hummed his coaches. Just then Edward saw some boys on the bridge. With snowballs. Peep, peep, whistled Edward. Hello! Peep, 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 he whistled at the moment, when suddenly... Oh! Said Edward. The boys didn't wave to him and took his number, so they think it was so funny to throw stones at them. One scratched Edward's paint, and one hit the fireman on the head while he was shoveling coal, and one broke the coach's glass, and one broke the carriage windows. They were silly, stupid boys, thinking it was so funny to laugh and throw stones at engines on top of their funnel. Edward didn't like this at all, so he couldn't stop the train, and this made the coaches feel very sad. They've broken our glass, sobbed the coaches. Moments afterwards, they've stopped. Edward and his driver stopped the train. So the passengers, feeling angry, looked at the fireman's bandage on his head, and looked at the scratches on Edward's paint. So they told his fireman what to do about it. Call the police, they said. No, we won't, said the driver. Leave it to Edward and I, he said. And so they puffed away somewhere else to think about it. What are we really going to do, said the passengers. I know what to do while we are going to teach those lads a lesson, said Edward's driver. We're going to make Edward sneeze at those boys. Really? They said. That's not possible. It is, said the fireman. We'll shovel ashes on his coal. We'll shovel ashes on his funnel where it's blocked up, and then he'll sneeze at them. And that would be a brilliant idea. What? Said the passengers. That's like having a blocked up nose. Indeed it is, said Edward's fireman. Edward puffed back from the sheds where he had a rest, and so his driver and fireman shoveled coal up inside his funnel, and now they were ready at last. At the next time, they finally made it, and Edward was excited. So were the passengers as well. I know you're excited as we are, Edward, said his driver. Like sneezing at those boys, he said. I know, said his driver. Now we are ready. You've already had your rest. Now we will be ready to teach those boys a lesson, he said. Indeed, said Edward. But Edward's driver didn't say I know to him. So Edward's driver and fireman winked at him, and Edward winked at them back. They were ready. All right, said Edward, let's go. And they steamed away to find the boys on the bridge. Remember, do not sneeze under, he said. Then I won't, said Edward. So Edward steamed away with the coaches, ready to come out. They made it there, and there was the boys on the bridge. They had more stones to throw at his face now. Right, said his driver. Ready and now. Achoo! Edward sneezed at the bridge and sneezed at the boys, who ran away covered in dirt and soot. Well done, Edward, said his driver. Now we'll tell the Fat Controller what a brilliant engine you are. You rather look dark, but we'll paint those scratches off your coat of paint and make you as good as new. Again, he said. And so Edward decided that he would like it so well. The next day, Edward was painted again and feel nice and clean and sparkle. He looked good as gold, and so that made the Fat Controller think about how much it's not nice. Think about how much stupid it is to sneeze on the bridges, and he doesn't like it at all. And so while Edward goes to every bridges he counts, and already it makes him think, no more boys with stones and no more bad days. In which really means that Edward is glad that he teaches those boys a lesson not to throw stones at engines again.